Yes, sir. What up, what up? Welcome back to another one of these things, man. It's Thoughts of a Predicate Winner. You know what it is over here. The sole purpose of this channel is to react to, review, and break down music that pulls on your heartstrings and makes your soul bleed. Now, I will tell you guys, a couple of footballs ago at the Super Bowl, can't remember exactly which one it was, we had a legendary performance by the one and only Chris Stapleton, the national anthem. The best national anthem I have ever heard. It was tear-provoking, emotion-provoking. It was just amazing. And it just gave you a real sense of American pride for the first time in a long time where it was most needed. I will never forget that performance. It made me a bigger fan than I already was. I already knew about Chris Stapleton, knew about how great his vocals were, knew about how amazing his talent was. But that moment when it was most needed transformed my fandom of Chris Stapleton. Now, what it did was it made me want to learn more and more about him. Luckily, I have an amazing team. Shout out to my members. And make sure that you hit that like button and that subscribe button for me. Help propel me into the algorithms if you're new to this, or if you're watching me for the first time, or if you're one of those 46% of people that continues to come back and watch these videos that just never hit subscribe for some reason. I hope I can earn that today. But if you're feeling real froggy, double click subscribe. You can become a member and you can be a part of all these backseat conversations that we have in the Discord, where I am lucky to have the one and only Jody, the one and only Mama Don, and of course all of the members, man. Shout out to all of you guys. You know I love all of you, but specifically Mama Don and Jody. Whenever it comes to me being intrigued by musicians, they are going to show me the right ones for the right moments at the right time. So without further ado, man, we got some Chris Stapleton to get into from his rock and roll days. And I'm excited to get into this because I've never heard him on some rock and roll stuff. All right, without further ado, man, let's get into it. You dig? Chris Stapleton, back in his band days, not to be confused with Band-Aid. That was stupid. It's okay. All right. The Jompson brothers, boy. It's already got so much soul in it just from the instrumentation. You can tell. Yes, sir. Wish I had a visual. I just don't got a visual.
Everything is falling darker every day and every night.
Come on.
Like I thought it would. Everything I ever had was part of.
1 minute. Let's talk about it. Everything is turning darker just like I thought it would. So right now we're dealing with pessimism, right? And we're dealing with when those negative effects start to control your belief system. So it's like you stop expecting good and you start expecting darkness, wrong, bad. But the one thing that we can all agree on and that we can all count on is that when those moments happen, they make you stronger, they make you better. So there is a level of thankfulness, I think, in most men that goes into that. So it's a good start to the song, man. Good way to set it off.
Everything is falling darker every day and every night. Like I thought it would.
It's hard.
Everything I ever had was part of you and I. Now there's nothing good.
Woo. Everything that I had that was good was involved with you, and now there's nothing because you're not here. I like it. I like the song so far, man. He's writing his pain out, putting his heart onto paper. What do I like? Type of music that makes your heart or makes your soul bleed and just get your heart going, man.
If I survive,
woo! That voice, boy.
If I survive,
It's incredible. An incredible vocalist, bro. It's very rare that you find someone that can really distribute the pain through the vocal performance. Like, you feel it when you hear it, just like I felt it when I heard the national anthem. You know what I mean? Shout out to Chris Stapleton, bro. You are a legend. A legend.
I'll be barely alive.
I love it. I love it, Jody.
Every time I take a drink of whiskey just to get me by, I think of you.
So even whenever I'm sipping on the whiskey, just to get me by, you know what I mean? Just to give me a little bit of an escape for just a second, I still think of you, man. Can't get you out of my head.
And every night that I don't lay down by your side,
Ooh.
girl, I think of you.
Ooh.
If I survive,
Yeah, dog.
if I survive, I'll be barely alive.
I love this. This is something that's going to be on repeat. This brings me back to the time whenever I was going into rehab. I've been clean. I've been removed from drugs for 11 years. But when I went into rehab, my wife was telling me she was going to leave me. She was going to draw up divorce papers. I deserved it. It wasn't because she just didn't want to be by my side as I went through that process. It's just that when I went through that process, how do you say it? The can of worms had been opened. So all the wrongdoings that I did, all of my life outside of my life actions, all of that came to the forefront. You know what I mean? It was a real rock bottom. All my demons were shown. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing left in the closet to bury. And I'll be honest with you guys, man. She should have left me at that point in time, because no one in their logical mind would come to the conclusion that this person who I can't trust, haven't been able to trust, won't be able to trust, is going to end up turning their life around for the better. It very rarely happens. But I believe if you are in that situation, you can do it. I just think that you have to put Jesus at the front in order to get there. That's just my 2 pennies, right? But man, does it bring me back to that. You know what I mean? Because that's all I could think about. I got saved in there. I got saved by grace through faith. Jesus is my Savior. When I got saved in rehab, the only thing that I could think about, because I couldn't contact my wife, I was expecting to get out after my time in there, and that I just thought that I was going to get served with papers, you know? But all I could think about was how even if I'm able to survive this, going through getting off of these drugs and changing my life, and I couldn't see 3 inches in front of me, like, let alone the years going down the road. Like, I never thought that I would be happy again. I you know, and luckily, blessfully, my wife stuck with me. But and now we're very happily married. We're the best of friends. But all I could think about in that situation was, even if I can't get through this, even if I can't get through this pain and this turmoil that I'm in, even if I can get through the divorce, I'll be barely alive. Is that a life worth living? Is it even worth me getting off of these drugs? Is it worth it? Now, on my way out of rehab into a halfway house, my wife met up with me and talked with me and told me she was going to stick with me. Changed my whole mentality. Now, I had already been saved, so I knew what I had the Holy Spirit in me that was channeling, like, yeah, you're going to get off of these things. Everything is about to be different. You're going to turn your life around now. I felt that. But there was still a darkness that was trying to be present, that was screaming at me like, well, if your wife don't come through, if your wife leaves you, what's the point? Because you're going to be barely alive. I feel this in my heart. Chris Stapleton, Inspire.
I'll be barely alive.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is you needed me to say. Tell me what it is you needed me to do.
Anything. I love it. I love this song. I do. Tell me, and this was our conversation. Tell me what I need to do. What do you want to know? For me, it was, you're going to answer every one of my questions. No matter how hard and difficult it is for you, you're going to be truthful about every scenario. And I was terrified even in that, because if I'm truthful about everything, where does that leave us? Where does that leave me? So it was a two-edged sword that was going to cut deep regardless. But she stuck with me, man. Shout out to my wife. She is the one, dude. She is, that is my baby. There will never be another. I will never marry another. Even if she left me today, there is no one for me but my wife. Nobody. And, just tell me what you need. Tell me what you need me to be. Tell me what you need me to do. And I'm so blessed because God channeled me. And after I got saved and Jesus turned my life around, I just, organically became who she needed me to be. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. And music like this just reminds me of my blessings. It does. But it also takes me back to those dark times where it was really hard to get out of my own head and to get out of the negativity that I was feeling in my heart. Even after getting saved, there was still this darkness there. There was like, if your wife leaves you, bro, there's no point. Just go back to who you were. What's the point in the change? It's crazy how I wasn't even thinking about my daughter in those moments. I'm just being real. I'm being forefront. I'm being honest. I wasn't even thinking about my daughter in those moments. My daughter was 1.5, and all I knew is I didn't want her to be raised by another man. You know what I mean? But it's crazy the love that a man has for his wife, if it's real. And the love that I have for her, it's like I couldn't even think about what kind of father I was going to be until I figured out how to make sure that I didn't lose my marriage. I had to make sure that I was with my wife. Had to. It was do or die. Literally. So, yeah, this song is reminiscent of those days, for sure.
What it is you need me to be. Can't you see the pain I'm going through? I'm just barely alive.
Wow. Even the instrumentation has pain.
Everything is falling darker every day and every night.
Ooh.
Like I thought it would.
Yes, sir.
And everything I ever had was part of you and I. Now there's nothing good. If I survive. If I survive, I'll be barely alive. I'll be barely alive.
Man.
I'll be barely alive. Girl, I'm barely alive.
Incredible, man. It's one of my favorite songs I've done a reaction to easily. I got a lot of those. But you talk about pulling on your heartstrings, boy. I love this. The Jompson brothers, man. Chris Stapleton, make some noise for him one time, dog. Make some noise. It's truly a miracle that I have my relationship intact still. It's truly nothing short of a miracle. All those demons that came out of that closet, she didn't even know who she was looking at. But by the grace of God, this is one of the reasons I know that my Jesus is real, that I know my Jesus exists. It's only by his mercy. She was leaving me and I got saved, and she could just tell something was totally and utterly different. I can't tell you how many times I told her. Like, I'm a salesman. Always have been. I can't tell you how many times I told her, like, yo, I'm done, babe. I don't do them drugs no more. Like, when I got saved and I told her I was done with drugs, it was 100%. She was like, oh, I know. I can tell. Something's different. That made she was the first one to tell me, like, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? When I didn't deserve it from anybody, you know? My baby, I die for her, bro. And I died before I left her. I died before I cannot. I have to have my wife. If I lost my wife, I would be barely alive. God knows that. You know what I mean? I can't do it. There's a lot of men out there. Y'all are tough, bro. Super tough men. They've lost their wives to like cancer, whatever. Like, or just, you know, you hiccuped. You messed up. And you know what you lost, but you still lost it. There's a lot of y'all out there as well. And it takes real strength and real courage and real tenacity to move forward from that. I can't be. There's no me. There's no this version of me without my wife. There's just a freaking monster inside of me somewhere, like, that's been put to bed, you know? I think it's biblical. I think that's biblical. I think that it's, you know, I've put my duties as a husband to the tip top, you know, and I've put my duties as a father at the tip top. Like, I would have to make it through for my kids, and I'm saved now, so I'm not going to turn and go back to the old ways or anything like that. But that darkness is going to get a whole lot louder. I'll be barely alive. Jody, this song cut. This song is deep. I need my wife. I'll always need my wife. I don't want to live life without my wife. You know how much I love my wife? I don't know if I want to say this publicly. I've had thoughts about, if I can't be with my wife in heaven, I don't want to go. I can't be without my wife. I love my wife. There's no Nelson without Lindsay, bro. It's just the way it is, you know? I'll fight for her. I'll die for her. I'll do anything for her. I'll become whoever she needs me to become. And that's it, you know? I'm very thankful. The first thing I thank God for on a daily basis is my wife. Daily. I wake up in the morning, and before I thank God for the day, I thank God for my wife. Because I don't care about the day without my wife. I feel this on to my core, man, because I almost lost her. I almost lost my wife. Because of my own stupidity. Not because she was, like, battling. I almost lost my wife due to my own stupidity. So, to all the guys out there that are going through that, I salute you. I doubt that you're going to find any kind of positivity out of this video, but I salute you, and I pray for you, and I know you're lost. If you're like me, I would be so lost. And I pray that you find somebody else that can be that rock for you, like my wife is my rock for me. And I'll selfishly say, like, I wouldn't trade my life for nobody else's because of her. I need my wife. So thank y'all for watching this, man. I'm not going to go on a 20-minute tandem talking about my wife. But, you know, thank you guys for watching this. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. And Jody, thank you for putting me onto this. I really felt this one. This one really pulled on my heartstrings and really, really got my soul bleeding. It's crazy because even the instrumentation in there was making my soul bleed. I could feel it. I could feel the pain through the chords. It took me right back to it. So shout out to all you guys, man. Y'all are the ones that made this channel special. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to all of my members. And y'all know what it is. If you want to support the channel, all you got to do is you can hit that Cash App link to request your music. And it gets pushed to the top of the list depending on what tier you're on. It's under my post section and on YouTube. You know, you can do super chats, super thanks, or if you don't want to financially support the channel, you can literally just hit like and subscribe, and it helps propel it and push it into the algorithm. We don't normally make money off of the Chris Stapletons in the world. We normally get demonetized. So just, you know, I appreciate any and all of y'all for everything that you do. Thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all on the next one. All right? Peace. And God bless.